Back from PAX East, where Darkpaw held a panel and the first community meetup in nearly 5 years. And the new producer's letter drops information on the new TLPs, Teek, and Tormax. And we're continuing the 25th anniversary celebrations in-game and in real life with plenty more coverage of the year of Darkpaw. The EverQuest Show starts right now.
Not even close to the end, it's just beginning. Life is getting lighter while the days are getting brighter, yeah. Celebrate life, get excited about good times, a good living, come on, shout it out. Hey! Take it up, take it over, take it out of control. Today I'm freeing my soul and now you got me singing, oh, hey!
Welcome into the EverQuest Show. I'm Fading here in the EverQuest Show studios, and we've now celebrated 25 years of EverQuest. And I've come back from PAX East. I have a little bit of the con crud, as you can tell in the voice, but we had a great time at the convention and the fan meetup, and here are some of the highlights. PAX East is held each year in Boston, Massachusetts. This year, Darkpaw Games decided to host a panel for EverQuest's 25th anniversary called Behind the Scenes 28 Years of EverQuest Development. The panel walked through the rich history of developing the game from the humble beginnings to trials and tribulations along the way, and the panel was hosted by Jen Chan, Adam Bell, and Lucy McLaurin. The panel has been posted online for you to watch in its entirety, but here are a few of the highlights.
Welcome to 28 years of EverQuest development.
We do listen to the player feedback. We don't always agree with the player feedback.
They pulled the hard drive out, and when they pulled it out, they had literally fused together melted metal of the hard drive stuck in position.
We've already started development on this coming expansion as of last June, and the beta for the new expansion is expected to start in October to be released in December. Expect something big.
And at the peak, we had about 400,000 subscribers. And we tend to keep our numbers pretty close to the vest, but we are able to say that we currently have about 80,000 monthly active users, and that number will grow when we launch our time-locked progression servers in May. In fact, I think it's even 90 right now with all of our anniversary events. So let's talk a little bit about the new EverQuest game. We've been pitching and ideating on the next installment in the multiverse of EverQuest, and the project is in its infancy. So many things can change between now and when we're ready to publicly talk about it.
I've provided a link to the entire 1-hour PAX panel discussion in the description of this video. After the panel, the developers met with some of the fans and gave out some real-life and some in-game loot. I also had the chance to finally meet Pink Poodle and their amazing cosplay as Quellius. Later that evening, a full fan meetup was held at the nearby Harpoon Brewery for fans not only of EverQuest, but also of Lord of the Rings Online and Dungeons & Dragons Online. Standing Stone Studios, that develops those games, is located in the Boston suburbs. It was a packed house at the brewery, and it was great to see EQ fans again, gathering to chat about the game and with the developers. I took plenty of photos of the event, and you can see those online right now at EverQuestShow.com. But don't worry if you missed out. This is just the start of a series of Year of Darkpaw events that the team has planned for this year. Up next is Fippy Fest.
So this is primarily going to be a digital forward event where we're bringing back the big keynote from fanfares. We'll also be bringing back the Q&A panels that were always standing room only from the fanfare events.
Now, Fippy Fest was intended to be an online-only event on June 14th and 15th. However, a very limited number of in-person tickets were made available for a once-in-a-lifetime experience. The $1,500 price tag was a shock to many, but some things to note here. Number one, this event was meant to be an online event only.
We will have a very small number of tickets for people to be able to attend in person, but you know, fire regulations, all that stuff, it will be very, very small.
Okay, but online people will be able to get all the same information.
Yep.
The event is free to watch, but for those in-person event tickets, the higher price is a way to limit that number. We also now have a bit more information on what that ticket gets you, including a specially curated swag bag with exclusive items like a Year of Darkpaw backpack, limited hand-numbered posters, t-shirts, hoodies, an EQ vinyl, on-site meals including an exclusive dinner, a tour of the Darkpaw Games studio, and not to mention all of the digital items from the VIP edition. And there are still some in-person Fippy Fest tickets available. I know the price tag is a bit steep, but this isn't a fan meetup, this really is a once-in-a-lifetime fan experience. And don't worry, the keynotes and the Q&As will be streamed online for free for anyone to watch. But if you want to purchase one of the Fippy Fest digital editions, you'll get all kinds of cool in-game items, as well as be able to ask questions online for the streamed events.
I do plan on attending Fippy Fest, but there are other options for in-person fan meetups. Now, there's nothing official from Darkpaw just yet, but the EverQuest Show is already making plans.
This year at Gen Con 2024, the EverQuest Show is hoping to organize a fan meetup. Now, if you're not familiar with Gen Con, it's one of the world's largest gaming conventions, catering to board games, tabletop games, trading card games, and also video games. It's an even larger convention compared to PAX East, and it's being held on Thursday, August 1st through the 4th in Indianapolis, Indiana, which just happens to be the home of the EverQuest Show. Now, details haven't been etched in stone just yet, but I am planning a meetup, something similar to the Harpoon Brewery meetup. There's a wonderful area called the Bottle Works District in Mass Ave. It's just blocks from downtown and the convention center, and if you've never been to Gen Con, I highly recommend it, even if you don't go to an EQ fan meetup, and I can't praise Indianapolis enough for hosting the event.
Of course, as Gen Con gets a little bit closer, more details are going to become available, and I'm still hoping that Darkpaw is able to attend Gen Con this year. Stay tuned for that.
Now that the April producer's letter is out, we finally have confirmations on the rule sets for the 2024 EverQuest TLP servers. The rumors gathered from the test server were correct. The servers will be called Teek and Tormax, and will mimic two of the most popular TLP servers to date, Mischief and Eridune, respectively. Let's begin with their similarities. Both will begin in the Kunark era, and they're going to unlock at the standard unlock schedule of 8 to 12 weeks, depending on the level cap increase. Both will begin as true box servers, meaning that boxing on the same computer will be prohibited, but that's going to relax over the course of the TLP progression. Both are going to launch on May 22nd, 2024. Neither server will use encounter locking. That's the first to engage system utilized on the Oakwind server. Now let's talk about their differences. Tormax is going to be a traditional TLP rule set. That's going to be similar to Eridune. Teek will be a random loot, free trade TLP, similar to Mischief. And for those planning on playing on the new servers, here's an extra bonus to getting your name reserved. A new character name reservation system is being rolled out on April 24th so that characters with over 200 hours played can get a first crack at reserving their name for the new servers. As we get closer to launch, the hours played restriction to reserve will be lowered. So there you have it. News of Teek and Tormax is finally here. Leave a comment below with your thoughts of the new server rule sets and if you're going to be playing on the new servers.
And it's not just the excitement that's building around real-life events for the Year of Darkpaw, but also there's a lot that's going on in-game as well. Here's a quick look at some of the things that you can expect for the 25th anniversary and for the Year of Darkpaw.
The celebrations for the 25th anniversary are going to continue into April, but make sure you log in to claim those freebies. Now, all players, regardless of whether you have a subscription, will get a free Royal Silver Crown. That's just for each character that you log in through April 20th. And if you're a member, that's having a paid subscription, you're going to receive a Darkpaw Torch ornament for each character. And get this, you're going to get a level 100 heroic character for your account. That's just for logging in before April 20th. There's of course also the new quest, mission, and raid for the 25th anniversary, as well as all of the previous year's quests and missions. Those have returned for the anniversary as well. And if that content weren't enough, there's also the ongoing Year of Darkpaw missions, the Anniversary Tower, the collections, and don't forget to check your marketplace freebies that are new each month through the entire Year of Darkpaw. There is plenty to keep you occupied in Norath, including Stomples Day, that's going to continue through April.
If you've been in game recently, you may have noticed a new loading screen. Here it is here. This piece of art was commissioned by Darkpaw Games for the 25th anniversary of EverQuest. Take a look.
And now you can own that artwork and lots of other EQ items as the EverQuest swag store has finally launched. The swag store has had lots of EQ2 items for about a year now, and Year of Darkpaw items were added at the beginning of 2024. Well, now there are a whole host of official EverQuest merchandise for you to own. Shirts, hats, mugs, posters, and more. I especially love the game mats. I've bought every one they offer for EQ2 and EQ, and the quality is really good. If you want a link to the swag store, one is provided in the description of this video.
While we wait for the new information about the EverQuest TLP server, that should be announced within the next week or so, we now have some new information about the EverQuest II TLE server.
The new server, called Origins, will start in the Shattered Lands. That is to say, no expansions are going to be unlocked at the beginning, and it's going to go back to the way the game was in 2006. The systems, stats, gameplay, it's all going to be reflective of that era, and an attempt to bring the nostalgia of the early days of EQ2 back to the players. The beta is expected to begin on May 2nd, with the server expecting to officially launch in June. In the meantime, the Darkpaw Rising game update goes live on April 9th, and it's nice to see the Year of Darkpaw tying into the game update.
More EverQuest Show content is on the way. Now, I apologize for getting this video out so delayed. Again, under the weather, difficult to talk at the moment, but I promise you there's a lot more on the way. Take a look.
The original keys. And it kind of brings you home. It feels like, oh yeah. So I've already been on an adventure. That's my whole goal.
There's the Miami avatar, and she's batting 2 cancer ribbons out of the park.
So I'm Nick Parkinson. My connection to EverQuest is my dad was Keith Parkinson, who did the cover for EverQuest. There's literally a picture of me, look at the halfling, and then look at the picture, and it's like, oh yeah, okay.
If I was an artist and I was stuck in a cave, what would I do? I'd paint the walls. I'd start painting the walls and slowly go insane. And that's kind of one of the things that I kind of built in that zone, is that you're watching someone go insane.
What's a secret or an Easter egg that people may not know about the game that you know?
Soon to come, there is a new, and that is just amazing. And you can't talk about that for a little bit.
I know, that I know, I know.
I couldn't believe it, because it's like, here's my old D&D character, and to see him on covers and things like that, and I love that. An actor that I grew up watching all his movies as a nerd, you know, all the vampire movies, he did his voice.
So in Unreal Engine, you can take any of your creations and basically simply plug in VR. And so as long as you have the hardware, a headset, and controllers, you can go into any of your creations and explore them from the inside.
I'm treating the zone. You're sitting AFK. Maybe you should sit and be okay.
people already were laughing so hard that I started to laugh at the ridiculous things I was saying.
Crazy owl bear wants to eat ya.
Be sure to like and share this video if you could. Also subscribe to the channel so you'll know when that new content drops. I will be picking up the pace because I have so much wonderful content and so many great interviews to bring to you. Also, if you can, make plans to be at Gen Con. It's a fantastic convention and I'm hoping we can get an EverQuest fan meetup together. That should be very exciting and there's a lot more to come for the Year of Darkpaw. In the meantime, I will see you in NORAD.
We gotta be the best we can be. And though sometimes we don't want to, still we gotta chase our dreams. Reach up and reach high because we're gonna pull through and give it all we got, even though it can seem hard to catch and make it happen. But we can't start sliding, come on and do what you gotta do to fight on. And so no matter what comes your way, nothing can ruin your day or even wipe your smile away. And by the time I'm up and out of my bed, I got 100 new ideas floating around in my head with the hope for tomorrow, a dream that I can see of all the awesome things and great people we can be. Or maybe by the music or the songs that I sing, I'll change the world with the simple message that I will bring. All I know is that it's out there, there's more to discover.